Today we have two goals. Number one, we're gonna build the best possible all Discraft bag. And number two, we're gonna use that bag to shoot the best round possible at the illustrious Harmony Bends. It's gonna be a blast. But first, let's talk about the bag. 10 discs, all Discraft, and the goal is to get the biggest variety of shot shapes possible. Harmony is a wooded, tough course. You really need every shot to do well out here. Let's start with putters. So for our putting putter, we have the Luna. It's a classic from Discraft. This is the CT Swirl plastic with the really classy P. McBee signature stamp. Probably the stiffest base plastic disc I've ever felt, which I really like. I think it's gonna be great for putting. The Luna in general is a really straight flyer. This one is really beat up though, so if I do end up throwing it, it's actually pretty darn understable. But to pair with this, we also have a Jawbreaker Z Flex Luna. This is going to be our primary throwing putter. Really straight flyer. This is a course where fairway hits are critical. Gotta keep it in the fairway. So having a straight flying putter that we trust and we know we can put some juice on, really important. So I think this is gonna get a lot of use out there. For our zones, we have a Zone SS in the Jawbreaker Z Flex plastic. If you guys have been watching the channel, you know I absolutely love this disc. Came out earlier this year. Really straight flyer with a little bit of turn, but still very torque resistant. Basically, if you want that zone style shot, but you don't want that heavy fade or skip, this is a great choice. And to pair with it, of course, we have just your classic Z Swirl Zone. Everything I love about the Zone SS, the low profile hand feel, the very flat top, but very overstable, great on the forehand. This is gonna get a lot of use for upshots. Now we're only bagging one mid-range, but it is the buzz. And I think because we have so many putters and upshot discs, we can kind of get away with just one mid today. It's the Fused, a Buzzsaw. But this one's pretty beat up, so it's actually pretty understable for a buzz. So say Hyzer Flip Machine. I love a Hyzer Flip to flat shot, so Buzzsaw is gonna be a goodie. Fairway drivers, critical piece of the puzzle here. For understable shots, we have an ESP Swirl Buzz. This is from the Ledgestone run a couple years ago. Probably the flippiest run of Cicada they've ever made. So this is a very easy turnover disc if we need something really understable. To complement that, we have an ESP Passion. This is one of my favorite straight flying fairway drivers on the market. Has a very odd hand feel, but dang is this thing straight. Really glidey, really easy to throw. And to go with those two, we also have the Cigara, which is basically a straight flying fairway driver with a little bit more fade than something like the Passion or the Cicada, which this is great because I can still put a lot of juice on it and know it's not gonna turn over on me. Or if I want like a Hyzer shot that I know is gonna hold the Hyzer angle and not get a lot of turn, I'm gonna reach for the Cigara. To top off our fairway drivers, we have the Z Swirl Captain's Raptor. Super beefy. Tons of skip. Doesn't matter how much anhyzer you put on it, it's always gonna come out. We're probably gonna have a lot of scrambling on this course because it's a very wooded course. So if I get off the fairway, probably gonna be reaching for this a lot. If I ever need like a forehand roller, God forbid, this is what I'm reaching for. And because this is a wooded course, we don't really need a lot of distance drivers. You don't really need any distance drivers, but I figured I should have at least one in case I need it. So I'm going with the ESP Nuke. This one's a little lightweight, 165 grams, still plenty overstable. If I need to hit max distance, this is what I'll reach for. So we're gonna be playing Harmony Bends from the red, white, and blue layout, which means we'll be alternating between the short, medium, and long tees. The short tees are actually really easy. The long tees are extremely difficult. This course used to be on the Pro Tour, RIP, the Mid-America Open. And of course, they played the long tees. So I love that the red, white, and blue pads give us a little taste of everything. I know for a fact that -6 is above 230 rated on UDisc. So that's our goal today, shoot -6 or better. I have a pretty good idea how all of these fly. I feel a lot more confident about this than I did about the Innova bag. So I think we can do it. And before we get out there, if there's any Discraft discs that you think I should be bagging that I'm not, let me know what those are down below in the comments. Otherwise, let's get out there. So hole one is a 531-foot par 5. This is from the short tees, so this is a pretty short par 5 here, but there is a ton of OB. You gotta cross a creek like 3 times en route to the basket. So I like just going layup, layup, layup. I like going Luna and Zone especially, just to really know that we're gonna be playing it safe, not end up in the water. You can see the river on our right there. And that makes this hole like a guaranteed birdie. It does completely take out the eagle play, which I know a lot of people love going for eagle on this hole. It's very tempting, but the birdie on hole one, knowing that we just get a stroke there right off the bat, is too good to pass up. I feel like a lot of the red tee pads we really have to capitalize on. They're all very birdieable, whereas the whites and blues are a lot tougher. Hole 2 here, 536 foot par 4. This is another shot we're just going to lay up. It doglegs pretty aggressively to the right after you crest this hill. So we're basically just trying to land on the red tee pad. And I land a little bit to the right. You know, you get that big skip off the cap wrap. But ESP Cicada, very understable. It's going to help us tackle this dogleg right. And I love this shot. It's a little inside though, so I end up clipping this tree on the right. But it still gives us a pretty decent look to get back to the basket. It's a little pinched off for the forehand. I'm kind of trying to decide if I should go forehand zone or maybe backhand with our CT Luna. That's pretty flippy. Ultimately, I'm just more comfortable with the backhand, so I feel pretty good about this line. We throw it really high, really understable, and just barely miss ringing this thing up. And instead we go out of bounds because there is the river right on the other side, which is a bummer. I mean, you know, we went for a pretty risky play there, which probably shouldn't have, because this is a course where if I can just birdie all the red tees, I can afford parring everything else, because that gets us to -6. Just 6 birds on the reds, 12 pars on the whites and blues. But, you know, I play with fire. But we got a pretty easy par 3 here. I go for the straight shot with the Zone SS. Absolutely love where we are here, but it's very easy to go off of this cliff behind the basket here. So this is a nerve-wracking putt, but look at that. You love to see it, ringing it up, getting back to -1, you know, back where we should be. Then we got hole 4, a 222 foot par 3. This is a really straight shot, but really downhill. And I just throw this way too high in the air. I mean, it was a good shot. If I just kept it lower, I think I would have liked it a lot, but I just got the angle relative to the ground real bad. So we are going to have to settle for a par, which again, on these red tee pads, we want to capitalize. We want to get those birdies. So I don't love to see the par on a red tee pad, but that's okay. 460 foot. Par 4 here starts with a severely uphill shot. So we're on ESP Cicada, but it's just too flippy. I really should have gone with the ESP Nuke probably, but with that uphill shot, I thought the understability would help me out. But instead, we're left in a real tough spot. Just got to lay up with the cap wrap and take our medicine here. Just try to scavenge a par, which is still very much in play here. Just do a little layup for par. Easy peasy, lick my wounds. Not a big deal. We'll take that. Now we're on the long tee pad, 289 foot par 3. Got to hit this gap right off the tee pad, then fade pretty aggressively. So I'm kind of deciding if I should go Sagara or cap wrap here. But in the end, I want something that pushes a little bit more. So I think Sagara is going to be a better bet. So we go Sagara on hyzer. And I love this shot. Super happy with this. We got all the glide we need, but still have that aggressive finish at the end. That leaves us with about a 20-footer for the bird. So I'm super pumped to snag a bird from the long tee pads. I'm kind of working on a new putting form too, so I'm really focusing on these putts, trying to make sure they count. Hole 7, 267 foot par 3, straight, really downhill. It's a pretty easy shot. We go Zone SS here, and I love this out of the hand, but I just get a little bit too much fade at the end. I didn't respect this disc enough, honestly. I should have just thrown a little bit harder. Would have gotten that nice straight shot all the way. But we fade out, which gives us this edge of circle putt for birdie. But again, this is a red tee pad, so this is one where I feel like I should be getting this every single time. I'm staring this one down. Launch, and just left. Just not a good putt at all. Huge bummer to come up with par on hole 7 here from the red tee pad. So that brings us to hole 8, 192 foot, par 3, straight uphill. If you don't stick the landing, it's super easy to roll down this giant hill and into the little creek at the bottom, which is real bad spot. But instead we go zone SS up the right side, filters in the left. You love to see it. Leaves us with a very easy putt for the birdie. Love it. Now we go to hole 9. 684 foot, par 5. A lot of trees to navigate on this hole. You really got to get off the tee clean. There's a couple gaps you can take. You go ESP Passion, which I know is going to be really straight. I probably should have gone ESP Nuke, because you do want a lot of distance off this tee pad, but honestly, I'm just playing safe right now, especially on these long tee pads. We are A-okay. Just, you know, playing safe, doing some layups. We're going to do another little layup here. Just want to put ourselves in a good spot. Now, this actually gives us a good look at the basket. The basket is on a peninsula cliffside where it is so hard to stick the landing. Very easy to skip off and leave yourself with no look at the birdie. So we go Z zone. I keep it wide. And we get so lucky to skip the landing here. I am super pumped, and leaves us with a nice little putt here. So this is another one where I was not expecting to get the birdie, but getting a birdie here would be huge. Ring-a-ding, there we go. The bird on 9, you love to see it. So now we're 4 under through 9, which is huge, because I honestly feel like the back 9 is way easier to score than the front 9. So at this point, I feel like -8 is well within our cards here. But now we come to hole 10, which is by far the hardest of the red tee pads. 904 foot par 5. We're just gonna lay up this first shot because we really want to stay in the fairway. If you get off the fairway at any point on this super long hole, you basically just have to pitch out. It's so difficult to make forward progress while you're off the fairway. And I just slip. I mean, the footing here is just kind of gnarly, super slick. So I just turfed that one, which is a huge bummer. But we end up in a decent spot where we can still attack the basket here and still try to go for birdie. I go ESP Cicada, but just way too flippy. Should have gone Passion there, or honestly, probably could have gone Nuke there and just try to get a lot of distance. But such is life. Now we got to lay up and try to grab the par, which is definitely still in the cards here. So we're going to go Z zone on the forehand. Just do a little layup around a couple trees here. And I love this shot. That worked out really well. And we are left with about a 20 to 25-ish foot putt. It's kind of uphill here, but we need big redemption here after that miss on hole 7. So I'm lining this one up, staring it down. You'll love to see it. We saved the par. Par in hole 10 is huge. That's a tough hole. Hole 11, we are on the white tee pad, 522 foot, par 4. This is our ESP Nuke shot because it's pretty open and we want to end up on the left. So we want some distance, but we also want some fade at the end. And this is basically perfect. The only problem is it kind of leaves us in the middle of the fairway. It would have been way better to be further left or further right. But being in the middle, we are right behind this wall of trees. So I have to go like a weird forehand flex shot, but kind of like panning. And I'm kind of trying to decide between Sagara and Cap Wrap. And I just throw this so bad. I mean, I threw that as if it was the Cap Wrap, despite being the Sagara. So that was just a total whiff on my part. So we go from potential birdie to now just trying to scrape together a par, which is a huge bummer. So we just go zone, chip shot, works out. End up right under the basket. So now hole 12, par 3, 309 foot. Not a super challenging hole, but a very tight tunnel at the start. So you really need a precise shot. We're gonna go with our buzz here. And I like the fact that this has a little bit of understability, so we can go hyzer flip out of this gap. I throw it really high, but it works out. I'm just pumped to be out of this super tight corridor. It does end a little bit further to the left than what we wanted, which basically means we have to lay this shot up. And honestly, it's not even like a super straightforward layup because it is just a prison of trees in there. But we're going to take the Luna, do a little jump here, and ends up right under the basket. So again, we take the par, which I'm happy with, off the blue tee pad there. Hole 13, par 4, 333 foot. This is another one where it's pretty easy. There is some out of bounds to the left, and if you go too far past this broken tree, we go buzz, try to do a turn over there, and I just kind of leave it a little bit short, kind of burned it over, but it's still a fine spot because we got this little area here where we can go upshot with the zone. Forehand, and honestly, this was my worst throw of the day. I was so disappointed by this throw. I just turfed this zone. I was, in my head, mentally, I was worried about this out of bounds long, so I tried to keep it low, and I just burned it over, and it was just a dumb move on my part. So we're left with a 45-ish foot putt. So we're gonna go with a step putt here. A little bit to the left, I leaked it, and that is devastating. This is a par that feels like a bogey. Definitely should have birdied that hole. Really disappointed, because that is so easy from the red tee pads. But that's life. So we come to hole 14, 280 foot par 3. This one demands a forehand. And I like going on this kind of sneaky right gap, doing like an Anheuser. So we go cap wrap. It's high, but it gets the job done. Like, I definitely wanted that to be lower, but the Captain's Raptor is so overstable that it helps us get back to the right there off of the Anheuser flex. And now we're left with another 25-ish foot putt. We made another putt recently that was about this range on hole 10, so I'm feeling good. Feeling good about this range. And you'll love to see it. Snagging the bird on hole 14. Hole 15, 525 foot par 4. This is one where from the long tees, this is pretty challenging because there is a tight gap you got to hit in front of this white tee pad. And I just leave this out a little too far right. We smack it and go into absolute jail to the left. I stood here for well beyond my 30 seconds. I mean, I was looking for any possible gap. Should I go forehand roller? Should I just pitch out? In the end, I just kind of this like pitch out, just a little bit of forward progress with the cap wrap. Leaves us wide open at least. So now we can go passion. Really just want to be at the base of the hill, really around where the staircase is. So we go passion on some hyzer. Fades in nicely. This is a good spot. This leaves us with a very easy upshot here. So we're just going to take our throwing putter of choice, our Luna. The basket is at the top of this hill behind this tree in the middle of the fairway here, so you can't really see the basket, but we just go Luna, pop that up there, and come so close to getting into the basket. But that's okay. We take a bogey. I mean, I'm honestly happy with bogey with how bad that first shot was. Now we come to hole 16, 129 feet, definitely the easiest hole on this course. It is just a layup upshot here, but I leave it kind of wide, and I get a really unfavorable roll. I mean, this is one where you need to birdie every single time. This is one where, like, you're driving to the course beforehand, you're already marking this one down as birdie, because this hole is so freaking easy. But now we got a putt here. And honestly, I'm scared because I got to ring this one up to get to 5 if we have any chance of getting 6 under, because we just got a couple holes to go after this. And I can it. So pumped about that. Needed that one, and we got it. So we got 2 holes left. 17 is very, very birdieable. 413 foot par 4. It's downhill. There's a ton of trees to navigate, but we just want to put this out flat and get as much forward progress as we can. Let the downhill naturally filter us towards the basket. This was a good shot, a little bit of a hyzer flip with the passion, but we nick that last tree. If we had just gotten around that tree, it would have been easy birdie. This is an upshot that it's not too bad, but the basket is on this peninsula with these like gullies on either side, so you have to be really precise. And I leave the CT Luna a little bit further right, and we go down this hill. Huge mistake. That CT Luna just a little bit too understable. Should have gone with the Jawbreaker Z Flex, but you know, it's how it goes sometimes. But we're left with, you know, like a 25-ish footer here. We've been money inside 25 feet recently, so still feel good about this, but it is a must make. We have to make this because 18, literally anything can happen. Very challenging hole. And it just dances on the rim. I left it just a little bit too far right. So we walk away with par. Now, hole 18 is a wild hole. Honestly, I feel like it's one of the best holes in disc golf, so well designed. It is an 870-foot par 5 with tons of out of bounds. You can see the river all over this map here. I mean, you gotta be really precise, especially with this tee shot. If you fade at all off the tee, you are going into the water. At the same time, if you overturn it, you are in jail on the right side. So we're just gonna go buzz and trust that subtle understability to keep us turning, make sure we don't go out of bounds, but also not turn too much. And I love this shot. This is so good, just floating down, a lot of elevation change, which I love about this hole. You can't see where it lands, but I'm totally pumped about where we are. It's not a great place to attack from, but it's a place where we are safe, we're in bounds, and we can land in a spot for our second shot where we can attack on that third shot. So we're just gonna lay this second shot up here, try to put us in a good position to really attack on shot number 3. So we take buzz again. We're just gonna hyzer, let this fade in. And that is a great spot. That leaves us with a very clear opening. I mean, there are still plenty of trees here, but this was kind of the best it was gonna get without really getting aggressive. So if we go ESP Cicada, you can see the basket is way off to the right. It's still probably like a 350-ish foot shot in from here, somewhere between 300 and 350-ish foot. And we need a ton of turn. So I'm planning on Cicada, going up high, trusting the understability of this disc to get us all the way to the right. I like it, but it's almost a little too flippy. And at this point, I don't know if we are on the peninsula or in the water short. And I know it's gonna be a close one walking up to it, and we are just a little bit short. You can see where I'm standing would have been perfect place to execute for a potential birdie. Instead, we're out of bounds. So now we are putting for the par, and it's a long putt uphill. So instead, we are gonna take the bogey. Huge bummer. What a round that was. That was fun. That was a great round. I feel like I played well. A few putts I wish I had back. 4 under, it's still a solid round. It's respectable. Not great by any means, but not bad either. The fact that we had a chance to win it on the last hole though, and we went for broke, can't really complain with that. As far as the bag, I really liked it actually. The Lunas treated us very well for putting. The Cicada kind of betrayed us a couple times with that understability, being a little bit too flippy, but we needed something for just those turnover shots. I think the MVP today was the Passion. I was throwing it quite a bit. I think we only had one bad throw with the Passion, but it was also a really hard throw, that tee shot on 15. Otherwise, having a really straight fairway driver that I still feel like I can put some juice on, give it some power, and know it's not just gonna turn over like the Cicada will. That came in real handy. Also, I really like the Captain's Raptor, just so overstable, so predictable. Buzz, we only threw a couple times, but both shots with the Buzz, I guess I had 3 shots with it. All 3 shots, but especially the first shot on 12 and the tee shot on 18, really liked it. I really want to put this Buzz in just like my normal bag. So that's a possibility. Keep your eye out for that. But guys, if there's any Discraft discs that you thought I should have bagged today to bang that line and get that 6 under, and let me know what your all Discraft 10 disc bag would be down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you consider liking and subscribing. And as always, I love you. Take care. I'll see you next time.